Call to order the special meeting of the Village of Riverside Planning and Zoning Commission for Monday, May 1st, 2023. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Marhol?
Here.
Commissioner Miller?
Here.
Commissioner Hennigan?
Here.
Commissioner Braun?
Here.
Chairperson Mateo?
Here. We have a quorum. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to make a comment at this point? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to our single agenda item for tonight. Old Business PZ 23-0001, Site Plan Review for the Central and Hauser Parking Lot and Site Improvements. Planner Siren.
Thank you. Since you last, I'm sorry, thank
I
you.
would like to recuse myself as I'm also a member of the District 96 School Board.
Thank you. Had it written down, completely missed it. Also want to, while we're moving, thank Commissioner Hennigan for chairing the last two PZC meetings. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Okay. Since the Planning and Zoning Commission last reviewed the site plan, this has been reviewed twice by the Board of Trustees. A summary of the activity was included in the memo that was included in the packet materials. So I'll just point out a number of points that were made during the January 25th review by the Planning and Zoning Commission that are listed on the first page of the staff memo. All of these topics have been addressed in one way or another in the revised plans. And then in reviewing specifically the changes to the site plan since you've last reviewed, I just want to note a few things. The location of the fence along Akenside Road has remained as recommended for approval by the PZC. The recreation field size and location has remained the same since the Planning and Zoning Commission last reviewed. One of the recommendations by the Board of Trustees, and I believe was also mentioned during the Planning and Zoning Commission review, was to consider the location of the planters between the recreation field and the playground and the building, with the thought that if the planters were removed, downsized, that the recreation field could move back towards the school and thereby giving an additional landscape buffer in that area. That area, the planters were removed from that area, but that was primarily due to providing access to fire rescue for the types of trucks that would go back there. They would need to drive back there and then have stabilizing arms, I guess, on each side of the truck. So that area was needed for public safety. So the planters were removed, but that location of the field has remained the same. Regarding the landscape plan, the plants that are in the public right-of-way in the parkway are all native species. So that was changed since the last review. I wanted to note that the backstop that was in question is further away from the residential property. The site is noted on the site plan. That was a recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I'll note that the recreation field surface is grass. All references to a synthetic field surface has been removed from the plans. The lighting plan has been provided and updated after the first Board of Trustees review. What the school district intends to do is remove the existing lighting on the building, replace it with new lighting that's compliant with the village's ordinances, and install pole lighting in the parking lot. And all of that is compliant with the zoning ordinance, including the most recent updates related to transit-oriented development. And also the Board of Trustees the school district is considering the use of security cameras on site and how they might coordinate that information with the Village of Riverside Police Department. So that is a summary of the changes that have occurred since then. I'll note that following the April 20th meeting, the Board of Trustees did approve the variations and with the condition that they were based on the site plans that were submitted before you in the packet. The district is here to present and can answer any questions that you might have.
Questions from the commissioners?
I just have one question, which is if the school district were to decide in the future to offer any kind of EV charging, would it be easy to install that in the parking lot?
It would be relatively easy. And I say that because, one, we have the space for it that could be dedicated to it. With the new site lighting, additional conduits will be placed, as a precautionary measure. So that's something that could be included in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? I was looking back through our notes, and in our conversation in January, there were suggestions from the commission to move the bump out on Woodside, I think further north to a more used area, but I don't remember subsequent discussion of that. Do you have a better memory than I do?
Are we talking about on Woodside, the crosswalk? Mm-hmm. So that is something that we've talked with the village administration about. It's not something that we've included in this planning and zoning packet. It's something that we still want to review. The district feels that it is an important safety element to provide at least another crossing point, but where that is has not been determined at this point.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or thoughts? Well, we appreciate all the changes that have been made, given our input and the board's input. So I think you've done a really nice job. Is there a motion?
I would move to approve the site plan.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. Let's go over the standards. If you're in the packet, it's on page 36. Okay. The arrangement of the structures on the site ensure compatibility with development on adjacent property and respond to existing off-site utilities and service conditions to minimize the demand for additional municipal services, utilities, and infrastructure. Do you feel that standard has been met?
Yes, I do. I would agree.
Yes.
Organization of the circulation system minimizes potentially dangerous traffic movements, provides adequate and safe access to the site, and separates pedestrian and auto circulation wherever practical, and minimizes curb cuts.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yes, agreed, that's met.
Play and park are separate. 3, the design of off-street parking lots or garages minimize adverse impacts on adjacent properties, promotes logical, safe parking in interconnection with the adjacent parking lots.
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Agreed.
3 more. Number 4, the design of landscaping, screening, and related improvements promote and maintain village standards for appearance and development quality, provide harmonious transitions to adjoining lots and developments, creates a desirable and functional environment for motorists, pedestrians, and occupants of the residential buildings, business owners, and employees, screens incompatible uses, minimizes the visual impact of the development on adjacent sites and roadways, and utilizes approved plant materials listed in our ordinance.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yes. Particularly if the school district maintains everything that they're planning and planting, I think it'll look better in many ways.
A perpetual concern. 5, site illumination in terms of fixture type and design, location, and installation in a manner that will minimize adverse impacts to adjacent properties.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
neighbors will see an improvement for sure. Conformance of the proposed development to the requirements of the zoning ordinance and other applicable codes and ordinances.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And finally, the relationship of the site plan to adopted village land use policies and plans.
Yes, I think it's
Yes.
consistent. Agreed.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Hennigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Braun,
Yes.
and Chairperson Mateo.
Yes. Motion passes. It's been a long run. Thanks
you.
for sticking with us,
Appreciate your help.
the project. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
So our next meeting is scheduled for May 24th. Thursday, I will be sworn as a village trustee, and we will be voting to approve the appointment of Commissioner Hennigan as your next chairperson. So I think you all are in very good hands, and I appreciate what you're doing. I already wrote this to you when, back in January, I thought this was going to be my last meeting to chair. Thank you, everyone. I've been on this commission since 2014, and I really enjoy being on this. I'm going to miss it a lot. I've enjoyed chairing. I've enjoyed working with, I think it was 16 different commissioners, Manager Francis, Director Apt, AVM Monroe, Planner Siren, Attorney Mars. I've enjoyed working with you and learning from you. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to miss you guys. But we got a lot accomplished, and I know you will continue to do that. So thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Oh, and Riverside TV, I meant to thank you guys, too.